city Dublin, the town I love so dear. But we're after winning 2 million quid, so we're off to Belvedere. Yes, it's goodbye to good old Arthur J, and it's bonjour to fine Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Halfpenny Bridge, now it's Belvedere for me.
As God is my witness, Festin, Roy never laid a finger on me.
I wasn't worried about his finger.
Festin, what are you doing with that knife?
I'm going to slice into pieces. Who's that, Charlene? Another cousin? Why don't you just move down to the docks and be done with it?
Hi, Pam.
Oh, hi, Toby. I was just watching a cookery program, Filetto Casanova, Italian.
Pamela, you've been crying.
Yeah? Well, he was chopping onions, you know, chop, chop. Always makes my eyes water.
But on television.
Yes, well, you know how sensitive I am.
Pamela, you can't fool me. Confess.
Confess.
You're missing Anthony.
Who? Oh, Anthony. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yeah, desperately.
Of course, Pam. A house isn't a home without that pungent male aroma. The slippers curled under the bed. The sound of steel banging against steel. The sweat pouring.
Yes, but Toby, right now, I need to be alone.
But what about our little chat? I've been looking forward to it all day.
Alone, Toby, with my thoughts of Anthony.
Well, you know me. I never want to barge in. Ooh, cherry fondant.
Toby!
Well, if you want to just throw me out, that's all our friendship is.
Goodbye, Toby.
A friend in need.
Out, Toby.
Any pertinent stuff.
Goodbye, Toby. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, if you insist, I'll go.
Have you take those marbles off the floor? If I fall and break me neck, who'll look after you then?
Alien.
Oh, well, thanks a bunch. Get upstairs and give me some peace. And don't wake Tara. And get that, will you? What kind of a need you to call at this hour of the day?
Hi.
Tobes, I was just making a cuppa.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Molly. Now, I hope you don't think I'm taking a liberty, but there's a little female matter I wanted to consult you about.
Oh, poor Tobes. Is it your time of the year?
What? No, Molly! Now, Molly, you know that I've never held with the idea of the weaker sex. I've always encouraged Emer to do anything that a man can.
That would require surgery, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I only wish. No, it's Pamela. I think she's going off the rails.
Pamela's going off the rails?
Well, not exactly, but there's something wrong. I was hardly in the house and she wanted to get rid of me.
I always knew she was clever.
Well, Anthony is at the bottom of it.
Anthony's in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly, and Pamela is missing him, far away on a distant shore. I was hoping you might have a word with her, you know, woman to woman.
Well, if I put your mind at rest, I'll pop into her. She's probably fed up. Sure, I know myself with Eddie away. Willie, what are you doing here?
Hey, Molly. Tobes, I'm home.
I can see that. Why?
It's Bernie. She's left me.
Left you where?
She's ran off with a goalie.
A goalie?
A reserve goalie at that. That's what hurts the most.
Oh, frailty, thy name is woman.
Oh, Willie, that's awful. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
I understand. I can't believe it. And you were all my life. Can't believe she ran off the goalie.
A reserve goalie at that.
Don't worry, Willie. This'll perk you up.
You realize, Willie, it could have been a lot worse.
Like if she ran away with the mascot.
No, the severance of a relationship is always very difficult.
Or the reserve mascot.
But thankfully for an easygoing chap like yourself, the experience is savage but short-lived. Oh, if that ever happened to me, I'd fall apart like wet tissue paper. I'd be left to wander my sorrowful days alone, never to taste joy again.
Tobes.
What?
What's he on about? Who's this Joy one?
Willie, you have to learn to drink from the cup of rejection. Oh, which reminds me, I must get Emer her new set of balls.
What?
For her tennis. Now, don't forget what we were talking about.
I won't. See you later, Tobes.
Now there's an awful lot of big woods, Molly.
He's full of them. And a lot of other stuff, too. But actions speak louder than words, Willie. Come here to me, you.
As God is my witness, Festin, I never laid a finger on Charlene.
It's not your finger you're gonna lose, Roy.
For God's sake, Festin!
And that takes care of that.
Pam,
Oh, Molly.
Aileen let me in.
Yeah, let me get you a drink or
It's okay,
something.
Pam. You don't have to pretend. This is Molly.
I don't.
I've been there. It's a phase. I know. At first, it's every moment of every day. You can't think of anything else.
I know, I mean, it's there when I get up in the morning, when I go to bed at night.
The thing is, don't resist it. Let go. Indulge.
Let go. Indulge. Oh, Molly, you know, I think you might be right.
Don't worry. It'll get better. I don't mean you'll forget about Anto altogether.
Anthony!
I'm sorry. It still hurts to hear his name. You really miss him, don't you?
Who?
Willie and me are going to McGettigan's tonight. Why don't you come with us? It'd be good for you.
Oh, well,
No excuses. Willie'd love to see you. Poor lad. He's in the same boat as yourself. Bernie dumped him. Ran off the reserve goalie.
Well, I don't think so, Molly. I don't think Willie and I would fit in the same boat. Anyway, look, thanks for the offer, Molly, but really I'm going to have to refuse.
Refuse? You mean you're not coming?
Yes, well, that's what it usually means. So, thank you for calling.
But I promised Tobes.
I'm sure Tobes would love a drink. He usually does. Bye-bye.
Whoa. Drowning your sorrows, eh, Willie? Reserve goalkeeper, no less. Jeez, you know what? He must have had something in reserve, huh? Still, you'll get over it. The first 10 years are the worst. Am I right, Mick?
Right. Oh, you've had a lucky escape, Willie Keogh. You take my lady wife, Mrs. McGettigan. Now, the minute I tied the knot, we were at each other's throats. If I said white, she said black. If I gave in and said black, she'd change her mind. It got so bad I had to untie her. Funny thing, the minute she went, I missed her. I still think I can hear her singing sometimes. She'd a strange sort of a voice after a few jars, you know. A kind of a cross between a bagpipes and a cat with the chicken bone stuck in his throat.
Right. So, Willie, got any plans for the weekend? Any away games coming up?
Well, I'm meeting Molly and Mrs. Moriarty down here. She's missing Anto something terrible.
Oh, so you're going out with a married woman now?
Huh? I never considered Molly as a married woman now.
Neither did I, but she does.
Ah, Molly.
Mick, there you are, Badler.
Molly.
Willie.
Willie, so sorry to hear about Bernie. But isn't it romantic all the same? Running off with the man you love. What was he like? Tall, dark, stranger. The kind of man that would lead a girl astray.
Putting it up, Aileen.
What did I say?
Where's the lovely Mrs. Moriarty? I heard she was gracing us with her presence.
Refused to come, Mick, point blank. I'm worried about her. She didn't even try to be polite.
She hasn't been the same at all since Uncle Anthony went. It's like she's bewitched. Maybe it's a changeling. My granny was always talking about the fairies coming and taking people away, leaving living replicas. They walk and talk just like the other person, but it's not them.
Oh, I seen a film like that once. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They all disintegrated and just blew away into dust.
I don't think Pam's going to disintegrate, Willie.
Oh, no, you'd never know. A woman like Mrs. Moriarty is a high-strung violin. She could pop a string or two, if you get me gist.
Come on, all she needs is a bit of cheering up.
Oh, yes, well, I'm well known in the circles for cheering up lonely housewives myself. I could pay her a visit, you know, just strictly to fill the void, you know what I mean?
I'm good at cheering her up too. Every time I say something, she always bursts out laughing.
Well, might take a little trip up there myself. I mean, obviously what Mrs. Moriarty needs is a companion who is sensitive to breeding, is someone who appreciates her delicate nature. Oh, never let it be said, a flower wilted because of my neglect.
Will you all be quiet? Isn't it obvious I'm the only one who can fix Auntie Pam?
Mother of God, what have I done?
Hocus pocus, flame and fire.
Aileen, what exactly are you doing?
Hi, Auntie Pam. I'm trying to harmonise things. Can you feel the difference? The vibrations were all out of sync. Hocus pocus, flame.
If you're talking about the cars passing outside the window, maybe you could just close it.
Oh no, I left it open so they can go out.
So what can go out?
Anything that wants to. Hocus pocus, flame. It's great fun, isn't it? Did Uncle Anthony ever tell you about Granny Bunyan in Cork? She's a real character. Her real name's Granny Moriarty, but everyone calls her Granny Bunyan. She only has to look at one and it falls off.
Ah, that's intriguing. So when is the next show?
There's loads and loads. There's people queuing night and day with sick cows being sick all over the place and cats that can't meow. She can even raise things from the dead. Well, maybe not the dead, but things that seem dead.
Really, really. Surprising Anthony never mentioned her, but then again, maybe it's not that surprising.
Where will I begin? So much to tell about Granny.
And I'm sure it's absolutely fascinating, Aileen, but right now, I'd like to be alone.
Nobody wants to be alone. We're social beings. I know. I'll make a nice cup of tea.
Aileen, right now, I don't feel like being social.
Now, Auntie Pam, you mustn't think dark thoughts. Isn't it great to be alive with the little birds singing in the trees and the fluffy clouds up in the sky?
What colour are the clouds in your world, Aileen?
You know, Auntie Pam, I've been thinking we should go out together more. Have a good time. The world's full of amazing, exciting things we never do.
You know the most amazing, exciting thing you could do right now, Aileen?
Be quiet. Well, don't say that. Negative thoughts are bad for you. Think positive, that's what Granny
Bunyan always said. No, but Aileen, I really want to be alone now, so will you just go?
I won't. Wild horses would make me. Well, maybe wild horses, but nothing else. Once I make my mind up, I'm a tower of strength. You can try anything. Torture, bribery. I mean, maybe if someone offered me £1 million or a trip to the Bahamas or...
Or a CD player?
What?
Well, you did say you wanted one, didn't you?
You mean the micro system with digital tuner, auto reverse and full remote control that's on special offer? But I couldn't possibly accept it, Auntie Pam.
Oh, but you could, Aileen, and special offers don't last.
They don't, do they?
No.
You sure you don't mind being alone?
Oh, sure, I'll just while away the time, watch a bit of TV.
But there's nothing on, only old soaps this hour of the day.
Yes, just my luck.
You're brilliant! Remember, hocus pocus, flame and fire.
Hocus pocus, Mr. Malocus. Good God.
I know she was in there, Molly, and she wouldn't even answer the door.
There, Tobes. I'm sure she's all right. Maybe I should ask her around for dinner, neighbourly like.
Splendid, Mollo, splendid. I'll be here at 8 o'clock sharp.
Actually, Tobes, I didn't mean you.
Emer has her weekly Peruvian feet scraping classes. The doctor said she needed to calm down after the accident.
The accident?
Oh, yeah, she got her arm caught in the cement mixer. You know, that damn patio will never be finished. Now, Mollo, I don't know what you were planning for dinner, but...
Something simple.
Absolutely. Now, if I could recommend, lobster is very good at the moment. And I have the most divine recipe. All you need is freshly cut coriander. Now, not the dry stuff. Saffron, Pakistani, not Burmese.
Who's cooking this dinner, Tobes?
Well, you are, of course, Molly, but I was just suggesting because, you know, Pamela's very particular. I mean, she wouldn't like bangers and mash or toad in the hole.
Actually, I was thinking of servo con salsa di ciliegie. If I can get the cherries this time of the year. Speaking of dinner, I must get the twins theirs.
Oh, absolutely. The little ones need their food. You know what the nutritionists say? We are what we eat.
Well, Tobes, I hope you cut down on the fruit.
Wow, this is a surprise, I must say. I wasn't expecting anything like so. Which funeral home did you lift these from?
Solomon's on the keys, do you know?
We came to cheer you up. Take your mind off things.
What things?
How are we supposed to know they're your things?
Willie, a moment. We are supposed to be, what? Sympathising, no?
Well, it's not always easy sympathising with people.
You're telling me?
Well, with the team losing and Bernie running off, sometimes I think the world isn't fair.
Willie, the world is what we make it.
Ah, yes, it may be what we make it, but we all start off with different, well, you know, different,
Lego sets.
Legos. If you see what I mean.
Bernie was my Lego set.
And now you've had to share your Lego set with the reserve goalie.
Why couldn't he get his own? I want my Lego set back!
Willie, I'm really sorry. Now, I absolutely didn't mean to upset you, but
Willie.
now that you've got all that off your chest, why don't you just...
Willie, you think that's bad? Did I ever tell you about Imelda? Ah, yes, Imelda. Well, she had curves in places where most people don't even have places. And she led me right up the garden path.
Just how long was this particular garden path?
Still hard for me to talk about her. In fact, ever since, what's her name?
Imelda?
Yes, Imelda. It's been difficult for me to express myself emotionally, as it were. As the king would put it, I am not made of wood and I don't have a wooden hand.
That's the most moving thing I've ever heard. I'm not made of wood, and I don't have a wooden heart. Sort of gets you right here. I am touched. Really, I am. Finished?
She used me, she did. And when she'd had our fun, she cast me aside. And she ran off with a tuba player.
You're lucky. At least I wasn't a reserve tuba player.
You know, in some countries, meals can go on for days. It's an insult punishable by death to leave the table before the host or hostess rises.
Finished. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, gosh, look at the time.
It wasn't a race.
Pamela, I have never seen anyone eat a meal so quickly. Well, except for Emer when she's fallen behind with her patio work.
Fascinating moustache.
We're not finished. There's dessert.
Yeah, but I'm watching my figure. Anyway, Anthony is phoning, so, shortly.
God help her. It must be strange living your own after all those years.
I remember when I went on my round-the-world holiday. Emer begged to come, but of course it wasn't possible. So I made a video of myself working out. And she played it every day. It was a great comfort to her. Well, I suppose Anthony just isn't that thoughtful.
Pam is in bits, Tobes.
You know, Molly, this servo di ciliegie is delicious. Now, is this basil or do I get a whiff of fennel?
I don't know. Here, read the packet.
Made it. Mr. McGettigan.
Your niece kindly let me in.
Yes, but what are you doing here?
I came to see you.
What? Well, now you've seen me, you can go.
Why pretend? I heard you call me over the rooftops and the chimneys. I heard you call me over the swirling waters of Anna Livia Plurabelle herself.
What are you ranting about?
Pamela Moriarty, you're a red-blooded woman, and I'm the man to satisfy you. Can you feel it?
Well, as a matter of fact, I can, but I thought it was the stew.
I've got references. Once you get McGettigan, there's no getting away.
I will have you know, Mr. McGettigan, that my husband is a very jealous man.
Sure, that only adds a bit of spice to it.
Funny. That's exactly what poor Roy said. Poor boy.
Roy? Who's this Roy?
Roy, oh. Roy? Well, Roy was just a boy. And he fell in love with me, and I fell in love with him, and we had a torrid affair. And then Anthony found out, and he flew into a jealous rage, and, well, he got Roy.
Got Roy? What do you mean?
Well, let me put it this way. Roy is now called Rosie.
Oh, my God!
But if you're willing to risk it all for one night of passion...
Oh, now, wait a minute. We don't want to rush into anything. No, maybe we should think about this. I mean, I've got a lot to lose.
I don't know if I can restrain myself.
Oh, you're a dark horse, Pamela Moriarty, luring an innocent poor old man into your spider's web while I'm having none of it. And by the way, you're barred.
Aileen! Aileen!
Hi, Auntie Pam. How are you? You feeling better?
Aileen! Where is the television?
Oh, that. I sent it down to my granny in Cork.
What? What does she want with my television? Could she not just conjure up one of her own?
Granny Bunyan doesn't do magic, and she'd be very annoyed if she heard you say that. Besides, she doesn't need one. She's blind as a bat. You see, I was telling her about your problem, and she said the bad vibrations might be coming from the television. They get lodged in the valves. Or is it the tubes? Anyway, she said that she has a special cleansing ritual just for televisions, and she's going to do it half price because we're related. Isn't Granny wonderful? Where's she gone? I like that. She never even said thanks and all the trouble I went to.
You know, Molly, this wine is starting to grow on me.
I'd never have guessed.
Did I ever tell you how Emer and I met? Well, it was at a wine tasting, actually. I remember I spat out a very fine Pullini Montrachat 82. And there was Emer in front of me. Of course, I offered to pay for the dress straight away.
Love at first sight, no doubt.
Oh, far from it. I don't think she's ever forgiven me. Sometimes when I see her mixing cement, she looks at me with a very strange look in her eye.
Don't worry, Tobes. If you disappear, we'll dig up the patio.
Molly! Oh, Molly, help! It's Festin. He's dying. I must see him.
Dying?
Well, don't look at me. I faint at the sight of blood.
No, Toby. Toby's on the television.
Oh, Pamela, begin from the beginning. Who is this Festin?
Well, I can't tell you because he'll laugh at me.
No, we won't.
Yes, he will.
We're your friends.
You can tell us anything.
Well, it's Festin. You see, I've been watching him.
Watching him?
Yes, in this drama. Acapulco Heights.
A drama?
You are laughing at me. I mean, why shouldn't I watch soap operas? I mean, just because Anthony thinks that they're dreadful.
Pamela, I am surprised at you. Acapulco Heights, indeed. All it is sun-kissed Californian airheads cavorting semi-naked on the golden sands all day and getting into all sorts of trouble with gigantic muscular policemen wielding their gleaming nightsticks and...
Toby, I don't care what you say. I am going to watch Acapulco Heights now. Festin, I'm coming.
Well, he must be quite a man.
Festin must have died. Marbles. I warned those two.
You know, Auntie Pam, you make a lovely patient. Just like that woman in the film. You'd never know she was dying.
Aileen, here, have one of these, Pam. Anto sent them specially. They're for the patient. How's your ankle?
Well, it's completely sprained, so the doctor said I'm to do nothing but lie here and watch television.
You know, Pamela, now that your secret is out, I can see how a man like Festin might interest you. Well, sociologically. Emer says that Festin reminds her of me.
Don't be silly. He's a real hunk. Mrs. Festin Rennet. Has a certain ring to it, don't you think? Of course, he mightn't want to live in Ireland. I could always sacrifice and live in Hollywood.
I think the patient needs some peace and quiet. Come on, Tobes, we know when we're not wanted.
Sometimes a woman wants to be left alone with her fantasy man.
Oh, how very true.
Is that Festin? He doesn't hold a candle to my Eddie. Well, except for his...
That's Festin's half-brother by his nanny. Or is it his half-sister? Anyway, the father had an affair, right? And
Quiet, please!
Shh. Oh, look at those. They can't be for real. His bicycle shorts.
Dear old inner city Dublin, the town I love so dear. But we're after winning 2 million quid, so we're off to Belvedere. Yes, it's goodbye to good old Arthur J, and it's bonjour to fine Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Halfpenny Bridge. Now it's Belvedere for me. Yes, it's goodbye to good old Arthur J. And it's bonjour to fine Chablis. I am leaving my heart at the Halfpenny Bridge. Now it's Belvedere for me.